Universidad Austral de Chile. Libertas Capitur. La libertad se conquista.
Daring, defiant, and free. What professional sports can you think of that are particularly dangerous? What motivates people to do this kind of thing? Look at the photo and answer the following questions. 1. How do you think this woman is able to do this? 2. How was the picture taken? Read the next article and answer the following questions. 1. Honor had nearly reached the top of the rock face when he... 2. The only equipment needed in this type of climbing is... 3. Climbing for 2 hours and 45 minutes had left Honnold feeling... 4. When he first visited Yosemite, Jimmy Chin was by it. 5. When on an expedition with other climbers, the most important thing for Jim is... 6. Chin wants his photography to tell... On a bright Saturday morning in September, a young man is clinging to the Face Half Dome, a sheer 2,130-foot wall of granite in the heart of Yosemite Valley. He is alone, so high off the ground that perhaps only the eagles take notice. Hanging on by his fingertips to an edge of rock as thin as a coin, just resting on mere ripples in the rock. Professional climber Alex Honnold is attempting something no one has ever tried before, to climb the northwest face route on Half Dome without a rope. In many ways, it's another day at the office for Honnold, but less than 100 feet from the summit, something potentially disastrous occurs. He loses the smallest measure of confidence. For 2 hours and 45 minutes, Honnold has been in the zone, flawlessly performing one precise athletic move after another, and not has he hesitated. In the sport of soloing, which means climbing with only a shock bag and rock shoes, no rope, no gear, nothing to keep you stuck to the stone but your own beliefs and ability. Doubt is dangerous. If Honnold merely believes his fingertips can hold, he will fall to his death. Now with mental fatigue and the glass slick slab in front of him, he is paralyzed, out of his comfort zone. My foot will never stay on that, Honnold says to himself. Staring at the greasy bump on the rock face, he hadn't felt that way 2 days before, when he straightened up the same route with a rope. Now, clinging to the granite, Honnold vacillates, delicately shocking one hand, then the other, carefully adjusting his feet on the invisibly small footholds. Then, abruptly, he is in motion again, stepping up, smearing his shoe on the slick stone. It sticks. He moves his hand to another hold, and within minutes he is at the top. I rallied because there was nothing else I could do, Honnold tells me later, releasing a boyish laugh. I stepped up and trusted that foothold and was freed of the prison where I stood silently for 5 minutes. Word of his 3-hour free solo of Half Dome flashes around the world. Climbers are stunned and bloggers buzz. On this warm fall day in 2008, the shy 23-year-old from the suburbs has just set a new record in climbing's big league. This is the magic of Yosemite. It forges heroes. One such is Jimmy Chin. He is no less accomplished a mountaineer. In fact, in some ways, his achievements are greater, for as well as climbing. Chin takes photographs as he does it. Chin had a traditional upbringing from his Chinese-American parents in the flat countryside of southern Minnesota. Rock climbing has been his passion since Glacier National Park first blew his mind, as a boy on a family vacation. Photography came later, when an outdoor clothing company bought one of the photos he had taken on an expedition. Encouraged, he bought his own camera and hasn't looked back. He thanks his parents who taught him Chinese calligraphy for his sense of composition. When I started shooting photos, I really didn't think too much about it. Combining this with his mountaineering skills, he has become the ultimate practitioner of what has been called participatory photography. Chin is able to carry a camera where few dare to go, at the same time remaining a solid and reliable member of the climbing team, which is always his priority. Photographing an expedition is like building a film. It's a storytelling. His favorite photo moment was on an expedition to China's Shantung Plateau with Galen Rowell, climbing nearby a mountain. Chin's team had to chop a hole through a snow cornice just below the summit. I put my head through the hole, says Chin. I looked down and saw Galen climbing towards me, dangling like a spider. There was only one thing in his mind. I should have found a more secure footing, but I knew the moment would be lost, so hanging on by one arm, I squeezed out 3 shots. Find words and expressions in the article with the following meanings. 1. 2 verbs that mean to hold tightly onto something. Paragraph 1. 2. An adverb that means to be very focused. Paragraph 2. 3. An adverb meaning perfectly. Paragraph 2. 4. A verb meaning to hesitate between 2 courses of actions. Paragraph 3. 5. A verb that means to recover your strength. Paragraph 4. 6. A verb that means hanging loosely. Paragraph 8. The author uses images to describe the extraordinary things these climbers do, and simple facts to describe their ordinary backgrounds. Find 5 images that describe the following. 1. How flat the rock is. 3 images, paragraph 1 and 2. 2. How Honnold escaped being unable to move. Paragraph 4. 3. Jimmy Chin's athleticism. Paragraph 8. Word focus, foot. Look at these expressions with foot and say what each one means. 1. It's difficult to get a job with a newspaper. If you can get your foot in the door by getting one article published, you stand a better chance. 2. It's an expensive repair and I don't want to see why I have to foot the bill for something that is clearly the garage's fault. 3. When she told them at the interview that the money wasn't important to her, she really shot herself in the foot. 4. You put your foot in it when you asked him about his job. He was made redundant 2 weeks ago. 5. She's followed in her mother's footsteps and become a dentist. 6. You've got to put your foot down. If your children think you don't mean what you say, they'll carry on misbehaving.
Universidad Austral de Chile. Libertas Capitur. La libertad se conquista.